Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck's wedding made headlines the last day or so. They got married, I believe, yesterday on July 17th. So on the weekend, they got married. What do I think about this marriage? Well, I think it's really a marriage of two messed up people, two people who have probably mental health issues. Ben Affleck for sure, but I think Jennifer Lopez probably also has mental health issues. Two messed up people coming together, hoping, I guess, for a chance to have love in their lives. I think that may be the case. Probably a combination of also suffering from a midlife crisis for both of them. I know Ben Affleck's going to turn 50 in a week or two from what I was looking at his Wikipedia page, and J Lo's going to turn 53, I think, next month. So they're both in their 50s basically. I kind of view this as like a midlife crisis for both of them. They've been both very successful in their careers, but not so much in their personal lives. When you look at Jennifer Lopez's history, you can see that she was married actually four times in her life. So I think there's always something wrong with a woman if she's been married that many times. Hell, if you're married more than once, there's probably something wrong with you, and high chance as a woman your relationship is not going to work out. And to be fair, you could apply the same to guys, but she's been married four times. Well, I guess this is the fourth time when you count her being married to Ben. This is her fourth marriage, so she's had three failed marriages prior. It kind of shows that she's not marriage material. Hell, when I was a kid growing up during the 90s and even to my teenage years, in the late 90s, I never viewed Jennifer Lopez as wife material. She always gave me that vibe of just a very strong masculine woman. Just she had a lot of that energy, that masculinity, and that's not really what I would call wife material. Is she an attractive woman? No doubt, but she's not someone you would want to be in a long-term relationship with. Just not someone that you could tame for a long period of time. You could settle in and just be a wife. I know people give different definitions of a wife. I've heard people say someone who's submissive. In my eyes, someone who's cooperative and willing to listen and willing to work with you. I don't think J Lo's any of that. She actually wants to be in charge and she wants to run the show. That's probably part of the reason why she became successful in her career, just that aggressive go-getting attitude. But I don't think that works in marriage, and I just don't think it'll work for her this time around, this fourth time around. I don't see it working. She's just a very hyper aggressive person. So I think this will fail. I think there was some regrets from last time on both sides of the fence for both of them. I know they were both in a relationship together before, a serious relationship during the early to mid 2000s, and they were actually supposed to get married way back then. I'm just reading right here that they had a scheduled date which was September 14th of 2003, but it never happened. They postponed it by a few days, and then it was called off. They called off their engagement in 2004. According to Lopez, I'm just reading this old quote. I think she said that basically Affleck's discomfort with the media scrutiny was one of the reasons for their split. That he just couldn't handle all that attention, just all that tension on him. It was stressful for him. I'm actually more empathetic to Ben Affleck than probably Jennifer Lopez because from what I've looked at Ben Affleck, just researching him, this man has suffered from both anxiety and depression. Since the age of 26, he's been taking antidepressants, so that's a lot of heavy shit to deal with all the time. So I can understand why he's messed up. That's just a lot on you. Just you're dealing with just constant stress and depression. Also, the field he works in doesn't help. Just that magnified attention. I think for him, like he's always struggled with those things. I'm just reading right here. He's had a battle with alcohol over the years. He's been an alcoholic. He's struggled with it. It's the reason why his marriage with Jennifer Garner ended. So this is a man who's been battling mental health issues for his whole entire adult life and just battling just a bottle. Just so it's I think for me, it makes him more empathetic to me. That I actually feel bad for him that he has to go through all this. I think maybe with J Lo, he views her as a strength or someone that could be his rock because when you look at some of these relationships, it's not always the man that's the leader in these relationships. I've seen cases where the woman is the leader and the man is the softy, as they would say, just the guy who takes the back seat and just lets the woman run the show. And I can be honest. I don't think all men can be leaders in a relationship. Personally, whenever I'm in a relationship, I like to be the leader. So that's just me. But I think there are guys who just like to be the supporting role player. I think with Ben, I think that is the case. Maybe that could also have been a problem with him and Jennifer Garner. I think she strikes me as a woman that would have allowed him to lead, but he didn't want to lead, and he needed her to take care of him. And I think that's probably why that relationship didn't work out. I think ultimately Jennifer Lopez, yeah, she could be the leader in a relationship, but I think the problem with her is that she has to be with a strong masculine guy overall to tame her. And I don't think Ben has that masculinity, to tame her. So just I don't think he does. That's no knock on him, but just I don't think she's the right fit for him, and I think this relationship will end miserably for both of them. Right now, it's a lot of nostalgia, but just give it a few years and it'll end like a typical Hollywood marriage does, which is a divorce. So that's what I have to say about this.